Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dreamleapers Inspiration. I'm your host, Harriet Cole. Very excited to be with you today. Happy New Year! Happy 2026. Happy New Year, everyone. Can you believe that we're in a new year? It seems like it came in a blink. Well, in some ways, it feels like a blink. In other ways, it feels like, oh, it took so long. But we are here. We are at that reset point when we begin again, right? This is the beginning of a new year. What goals did you set for yourself? If you thought about the goals you had for yourself last year, did you take the time to think about, hey, did I accomplish what I set out to do? How well did I do based upon what I told myself I was going to do? And either way, whether you did that assessment, whether you measured up well to yourself or not, here we are. We are in a new year with a new opportunity to approach our lives with a refreshed vision, with a resolution that we are going to do the very best that we can to fulfill whatever dreams we have for ourselves. That's what can happen at the beginning of a year, that we can make that decision. What do I want for me? What do I want for my life? What do I want for my health? What do I want for my mental health? What do I want for my home, for my family, for my work, for my future? What do I want for me? What do I believe I deserve? I want you to ask yourself those questions. What do you believe you deserve for your life now? As we walk into this new year, what is the conviction that you're walking with? What do you believe you should have for yourself? You should do for yourself? What is the life that you want to live? Rather than just kind of stumbling into it. Oh, we're here. 2026 is here. What if we think about it a little differently? Consciously, what do we want for ourselves and what can we do in order to make that possible? I spent the New Year's week at a spiritual retreat, which was amazing. I had not carved out time for myself like that in a very long time. Like many of you, probably, I have a pile of responsibilities, including deadlines, that would say, you don't have time to do this. But I needed to. I needed to recharge. I needed to be still and kind of look at my life differently and assess, where am I headed? What do I care about? And what is important, and how can I align myself with what is important? And also, how can I wash away any of the negativities and worries and fears and stuff that was kind of holding me down? I wonder if you have had thoughts like that, like, oh, there was so much. Last year had a lot in it, and some of it, for me anyhow, felt burdensome. And I wanted to lift the burden. I didn't want to walk into this year feeling the weight of some of the things that had been bothering me. And so being in a spiritual environment, being able to be still, being able to listen, being able to listen to the voice inside and really assess, what am I doing well? What maybe not so well? How do I want to realign myself with what is important? I think it's very key to a healthy life to take time out to do that. And so I did, and I'm grateful that I did. I certainly have a much better mindset than I did going into the retreat. I feel a lot more positive. And, I'm always working to be positive, but that doesn't mean you always are, right? I was around people of many generations, from little kids to young adults to people with young families to elders and everybody in between. It was especially gratifying to look at the young adults, people who are just beginning their lives. They're not even quite independent yet, but they're taking independent steps, and observing them and seeing the choices they make and how they work with each other and how they kinda stood in their confidence as they were problem solving, as they were going about whatever their tasks were. It was really beautiful to see 20 somethings, late teen and 20 somethings who were standing tall in the understanding that they had the ability to complete whatever the task that was before them. This was so inspiring to see. Young people who certainly haven't figured it all out. They're just beginning to even have space to make the effort to figure it out, when their parents are not, um, micromanaging or, making the effort to answer the question before they've asked the question. They would in this space of just beginning to exercise their own discretion, their own discrimination, their own, uh, brains to figure out, "What should I do in this situation? What's the best way to handle whatever it might be?" And I found it incredibly inspiring to observe them. The poise that they had, just as they walked through space. I saw a couple of them having public speaking roles and really standing with full conviction that they knew what they had to do and they did it well. I saw them problem solving. And when there were things that came up that maybe they didn't quite know what the answer was, they talked amongst each other to troubleshoot. Well, how do I handle this? What do I do in this situation? I didn't see one person kind of sulking in the corner feeling like, woe is me. I didn't see one person even left to be alone because they were working together as a team. It was beautiful to see. And I watched some of the older people of various ages from, 30s to 70s fulfilling their tasks, often talking cross-generationally with others, problem solving, providing input when it was needed, bringing their wisdom to a situation because perhaps just based on experience and time, they knew things that could be helpful to others, but also paying attention and understanding that they could learn from whoever was before them, even if it was somebody 20, 30, 40 years their junior. There was a cycle of learning and respect that was beautiful to see. And as I observed and participated and, fulfilled my role that I had during this retreat, something that kept coming up for me was believe in yourself. The message for this week for inspiration. Believe in yourself. When you have confidence in yourself, you are more prone to do great things. You are it's like your brain works better and you can strategize through things that maybe in another situation you feel stumped. When you believe in yourself, you believe that you have something to contribute that is going to be valuable. You believe that whatever bubbles up within you is worthy of consideration. You don't second guess yourself as much when you have the confidence that whatever is within you is worth revealing to yourself and worth considering whether you would share it or not. And yeah, Charmaine says, absolutely. Happy New Year, Charmaine. When you believe in yourself, your ideas resonate with more power than if you go, oh, it's just me who thought of it. What does that matter? I'll just be quiet. Somebody else is going to have a better idea. It could be, so if you're in a position like myself, could be, "Ah, I'm old. Let those young ones have their say. They're gonna know better than me." Or if you're one of the young ones, "Ugh, what do I know? I haven't lived life that long. Let's listen to the elders. They're gonna know better." There's so often this notion that somebody else knows better. Surely not me. That person over there knows better. That person over there knows better. So let me just be quiet and see what that person has to say. But what if, respectfully, you offer what comes up for you? What if you pay attention and listen inside? What is the wisdom that's bubbled forth? Is it worth it? Is it worth sharing in this moment? Should you jot it down because maybe it's good for another moment? What happens when you value you? When you believe that whatever's coming up for you is valuable, that it's worth being aware of, that it's worth documenting, that when the moment is right, it's worth sharing. When is it right for you to go for it when you have an idea? So many people feel like, ugh, my idea isn't worth it. I should just keep my mouth shut. Or it's too late for me. Now, I want to tell you because I'm in the age group where a lot of people are retiring. I'm not retiring, but a lot of people are retiring. And when they think about that pivot point, some people say, well, I did great. I had a great life. I did a lot of good things. Now I'm going to turn and do something else or enjoy my years when I don't have to work or whatever it might be. Some people say, oh, I still have some great ideas. I want to share those ideas. Some people, I'm giving up. I didn't do it before. What makes me think I can do it now? I looked up just because I wanted to. Who are some of the most successful people who started whatever it is that they wanted to do later in life? Many of you may have heard of Colonel Sanders, the one who made Kentucky Fried Chicken. That's the story that I've heard so many times. Now, I looked him up to really be sure. Am I right about what I think? So he started his chicken business when he was around 40, which I did not know that. But when he decided to franchise it and to make it into what it has become, which is generations past his passing, he was in his 60s. Colonel Sanders was in his 60s, and he was receiving a Social Security check that helped him to fund the transition of his business from, a simple chicken business to a franchise business. And it made him a multimillionaire in his 60s using Social Security check. Believe in yourself. This is what this man did. He said, I can do it. I can figure it out. And he didn't let lack stand in the way. And I say that because he used his Social Security check. This is not a lot of money. But his vision, his belief in himself was so strong that he said, I can do it. Isn't that amazing? So let me tell you some of the other people, because I just was very curious about this. So I wanted to see who were some other people who started their businesses after 45 was what I looked up. So Ray Kroc, who founded McDonald's, he founded McDonald's at age 52. 52. Ariana Huffington founded the Huffington Post at age 55. The Huffington Post, you all may not remember this, but the Huffington Post absolutely revolutionized the delivery of news and news commentary. And the way that she did it first, everybody who wrote for her wrote for free. This was before there was any kind of understanding of how you could earn money on the internet with content. See how things have changed. Harlan Sanders is Colonel Sanders. He founded the business of KFC in the way that it exists today at age 62. Sam Walton of Walmart, he founded his business at 44, and it says it scaled nationally after 45. Vera Wang, who just sold her business for $800 million, she founded her company at 40, and it became a global success in 5 years by 45. I mean, Charles Flint founded IBM at 61. I could go on and on. But I looked this up because I wanted to share that it is never too late to dream your dream and to make the effort to make it come true. Your dream is just as valuable as anybody else's, even if you have nothing, even if you have 5 cents to rub together, as my mother used to say. Even then, yeah, Sharon McCreary says there is life after retirement for many people. After retirement, after job loss, after, I've told the story often about my friend Dawn, who was an executive in corporate America, had a great job, was doing really, really, really well, and she was laid off and was devastated. And now she has a very successful health food store in Queens and growing. When one door closes, another door opens. She believed in herself and she had faith. These things happen to people, it's not just somebody over there. It's not just a rare person who could never be you, because that's what we think. Oh, well, that happened to that person. The people like Colonel Sanders, I mean, these are wildly successful stories. But my friend Dawn, she has a storefront that's doing really, really well. And she was a corporate executive. She survived. She went from crashing to thriving. What about you? So let's look at the quote that I found for today. I think it's a great thing for us to think about as we talk about believing in ourselves. And today's quote, what does it say? Fallon's going to bring it up. It says, "You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream." This is from C.S. Lewis. Listen, because somebody who's tuned in today probably needs to hear this. You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream. Never. Think about that. It doesn't matter how old you are. As long as you are on the planet, as long as you are here on the planet, you can set a goal and you can work toward it. Marie Claire, Happy New Year. Hello, Happy New Year to everyone. You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream. You know, I've talked so often about my mother, and I'll tell you, she passed away this past May. This was my first Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's without her. She lived to be 95 years old. But one thing that she did that is just amazing to me, she got COVID at age 90, and that was before there were any vaccinations or anything, and it hit her very hard. You may recall that people in hospitals and nursing homes, they just weren't cared for well, and she wasn't. And one of the things that happened while she was in the hospital was she lost her ability to walk because they did not get her out of the bed enough. So at 90, she lost her ability to walk. And she had that kind of long COVID, the sort of, they called it COVID brain, a really diminished capacity in her thinking. And we set a goal for her to be able to walk again. Because if you can't walk at all, then you need what they call a 2-person lift, and it's difficult if you can't walk. For 2 years, she worked with the physical therapist and also the people that we had tending to her, and by the time she became 92, she could walk again. Not well, but she was able to stand up and go to the toilet, stand up and go to her bed. She was able to walk a little bit. This was revolutionary. She was 92. For 2 years, from 90 to 92, she couldn't walk, and then she could walk again. We considered that pretty close to miraculous. She set a goal, we set a goal with her, and she worked toward that goal. You can imagine that's not hard to do. You've lost the power in your body, you're old, you were sick. You know, the compromise of COVID had lasting effects on her mental and physical capacity, but she never gave up, ever. At 90, 91, 92. And then she lived 3 more years to 95. So I say, what about us? What are we doing? C.S. Lewis says, you are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream. What is your goal? What's inside of your head that's telling you, I want to do this for myself. I want to do this for my family. I want to improve my life in a particular way. You all have heard from my friend Sekou Wrights on a number of occasions. He had set a goal some years ago. He'd been in a dark place and decided he was going to climb out of the dark place. And part of what he did was to change the way he eats, to change the way he moves his body. He started running at least a mile every day. And that served him very well for over an extended period of time, every single day, no matter what. And then he had a stroke, and it turns out that he had 2 strokes. And these were devastating experiences. He didn't give up. He's been here talking to us about this. He talks about it all the time. He didn't give up. He kept pushing. He set the goal of rehabilitating himself. He set the goal to be able to run again. And now, I don't know how many days, it's more than 1,000 days. If you're tuned in, Sekou, tell us how many days it is now, but it's over 1,000 days that he has run since having had the strokes, since going through rehab, since, he had aphasia, the inability to say what he was thinking. He's gone through so many things, but this dear friend of mine never has given up. You do not have to give up either. This is a fact. It doesn't matter what is going on in your life. You might feel like, oh, I can't survive this, whatever this is. This obstacle is too great. I don't have hope like I used to have. I feel like I'm too old. I feel like the burdens are too heavy on my shoulders. I can't lift them off. There are a million things that we can say to ourselves that will make us feel hopeless. Please stop that chatter. Please. I beg you to believe that it is possible to succeed at whatever it is you tell yourself you want, need, and deserve if you just don't give up. If you believe that you deserve all the great things in your life, you have to believe it. And you have to surround yourself by people who also believe it. If you surround yourself by people who tell you that you're no good, that they're better than you are, that you don't deserve another chance, then you won't get another chance. That's a fact. You have to believe that you deserve all the great things. You have to believe that if you put in the effort, great things will happen for you. You have to believe that there are other people in the world who want you to survive and to thrive. And when you say it out loud, that there's somebody right there, right before you, who wants to help you. Now, I say this as someone who, I go up and down with the strong belief that everything is going to be great. Sometimes the list is long of stuff that is not going well, of things that are a challenge, of things that seem overwhelming. And then I have to remind myself, this too shall pass. Whatever my challenges are, they're not even close to as great as my ancestors. I can survive and thrive. It is possible to overcome whatever the obstacles are that are before me. Let it be a mantra for you. I can. I believe in myself. I can accomplish what I set out to do. If I don't give up, if I stay in alignment with goodness, if I keep claiming the positive, then positive things will happen. But you really have to stay committed to this. So that in those dark moments, in those times when you just go, I can't, there's a voice bigger, deep inside of you that says, I can. I can. If I don't give up, it's going to happen. I can do something today that is going to be good for me tomorrow, even if today is hard. I can. You can. I want you to really sit with that. Do you believe this? Do you believe that you deserve to be happy, to be healthy, to be whole? Do you believe it? Do you believe that you have the capacity to take the steps to make this possible for yourself? It has everything to do with your outlook. I mean, you do have to take action. But if you're negative, the action you take is likely going to be negative, or it won't be wholehearted because maybe you don't believe that it's really possible. But I just told you about people who, Colonel Sanders, in his Social Security check, turned his idea into a multi-billion-dollar business that continues well after his passing. What about you? If he could do it, he's a man from Kentucky. If he could do it, what about you? Why can't you do whatever it is that you want to do if this man did it? Seriously. Who was he? He was not famous. He was not somebody that people put on a pedestal. He was a hardworking man with a vision. Who are you? How do you define yourself? How do others define you? What is your dream? What do you want for your life? And how can you get there? I truly believe that it is possible for all of us to manifest our dreams if we believe in them and we put in the work. So I'm putting it to you right now. What do you believe in? What do you want for yourself? What do you feel that you deserve? Write it down. Work hard to make it manifest. You can. You actually can do it. Whatever it is, don't sell yourself short. Believe in you. Believe in your ability to do something great in this world. And it could start as something really small. What do you need to do for you? Like my mother, being able to walk, working at it for 2 years. What do you need to do for you? Maybe it's for your body. Maybe it's for your home. Maybe it's for your family. Maybe it's for your work. Maybe it's for your bank account. Maybe it's for all of them. What do you need to do? Write it down and take action. Believe and trust that you deserve it and that you can make it happen. And however old you are not too old to make your dreams come true. Please believe that and set it in motion. Happy New Year, everyone. Until next time, have a great day and make it count. Namaste.